be good.
Let me just grab the link and tweet it out again, or send it out some places.
Yeah, and all of you people that are watching live right now, you should grab that link and tweet it out again too, because we have we have Nick on the line for Media Moguls, and it's going to be rocking.
I mean, the man, the myth, the legend, we're live now, as my dear friend Nick would say.
Hi.
So yeah, welcome for those people who might not know who you are. Who are you, Nick? And what do you do?
Hi. I'm Nick Kusters. I'm recently new to Wax. I joined I discovered Wax 2 months ago. I'm a software developer, been writing software all my life. And there were some things that I experienced on Wax where I was like, this can be better, or I really want this. And I made tools for that. So I did that for Our Planet and for Alien Worlds. And I probably will make a lot more stuff for other projects as well. But yeah, basically I'm a software developer that just runs into stuff and I fix it when I can.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, so tell us about the thing that you made for Our Planet. Like, I remember when it first came out, it's basically like throw your wax wallet in there and it kind of tells you, just gives you a bunch of details. Just walk people through that. Like, I use that all the time. Anytime anyone's like, is this Our Planet thing stupid? I don't know, like plug my freaking wax wallet in there and you tell me, and they're like, that can't be real. I'm like, I agree, but here we go.
Yeah, well, it all started with, if you're familiar with Our Planet, you generate ether every hour, and you can claim it, and you craft stuff with that. So it used to be that there were a set of NFTs that you could put into Our Planet, you send it to them, and you will get a fixed rate for those NFTs every hour. That grew a little bit bigger than they expected. So to keep like the influx of ether at a reasonable level, they switched to a pools system where they were like, okay, we have all these projects, but each project, they get like 1 million ether an hour, and you just divvy it up with all the people that stake to it. And with that change, they also changed the way they showed some stuff. So since it's all dynamic, what you can get right now, it used to be like, okay, I have all these NFTs, I get 1,000 ether per hour. Great. After the pool system came in, that hourly rate that you would get, it could change from second to second. Every time somebody puts something in, your share drops. If somebody pulls something out, your share goes up again. If you put something in, you get a little bit more, but each thing that's already in there yields a little bit less. So you would have to go into the project and you could see, okay, now I get 980 ether per hour. But you would not have your total anymore. And that total was used a lot by people to tell how they were doing. Because it was like a constant race to get up there and get as much ether per hour as possible. And you would really want to know how you were doing. So when they rolled out a new update, you could no longer see that. Well, you could go into every single page, note down the value, go to Excel, put it in, tally it up, and then by the time you're done, your ether would have changed already. So that's not really a viable way to do it. So when that rolled out, I was like, oh man, I really want to see that number, because it would give me a sense of an idea of how I was doing. So I looked into it and I was like, okay, if the page can figure out how much you get for each project, you just have to get that data and tally it up, and then you'll be back the way it was. So I was looking around to see if I could get all that data, and it turns out I could, figured out the formulas. I was like, okay, let me knock out the proof of concept. And that same evening, I published a website where you could just get that same info back again. And people were really happy because they were really starting to miss it. And then the first version was really ugly. It was just like, I want to get this out there. So you put in your data and you have the number. And after that, I iterated on that to make it a bit more pretty and add some other stuff as well. So that's basically the Our Planet tool.
It's awesome. What's the URL for that again?
rp.naw.io.
Got it. Yeah, I just want to throw it up in the comments.
After I discovered like the Wax ecosystem, every website ends in .io. And I had the so I had the naw.io website. I had that, and I was like, okay, it's the only .io domain I have. Let's just use that for this project, and I just created subdomains for everything.
For me, So what did you end up? And we'll do some graphics here. I have it up, Jimmy. But what did you build for Alien Worlds? Because I actually haven't checked that out.
So for Alien Worlds, for those of you that are not familiar with it, I think everybody knows it by now, but it's a game that's still very, very early in development right now. There's one thing you can do, and that is mine on a planet, and you get some TLM, that's a native coin, and you can have a chance of getting an NFT. So to mine, you can use tools. You start out with one shovel, and there are 3 slots for equipment. So what you could do is go to the market, buy 2 more shovels, and then you have 3 shovels to increase your rates a bit. So the timer becomes longer, you get a little more each time, and you have a bit more chance of getting an NFT. The only downside is the UI does not support equipping the same kind of tool more than once. So if you go to select a second tool to equip, it will show shovel. You have 3 of them, but you already have it equipped. So it's not able to, you're not able to select a second shovel or a third shovel. Same goes for drills, etc. So you can equip 3 different tools, but not 3 the same tools, or 2 the same tools and a different tool. So what they said is, well, you can go to Blocks. Everybody knows the Blocks website, right? Where you can see all the contracts and transactions and stuff. So they say, okay, you go to Blocks, you type in m.federation, you look up that account. That's where the contracts are for Alien World. You go to contracts, you go to find set bag, and then you have a little text box where you have to put in a JSON array of asset IDs. So that's square brackets, and then you have those huge numbers for each NFT, the unique ID, you have to put in there with commas, and then you can do set bag, and then it's set, and then you have to reload the game, and then you have more of the same tools equipped. Well, the first time that I saw that, I was like, is this real? Are they really telling people to do this? Because it's like such a horrible experience. And it was new to Wax, so I was like, I see so many people saying this is the way to do it, let's just figure it out. So I went and I did it. It works like that. And then my wife started playing as well, and she does everything on her phone. And so she would have to build up a JSON array of asset IDs on her phone to execute a contract. And it's like, I'm not even going to do that for her. It's just too much hassle. So I was like, you know what, dear, let me see if I can fix this. So I went in, looked how it worked. Well, they already told you which contract it was. So I created a website that would just load in your current bag, all the Alien World tools that you have, and you can just select which ones you want and just click a button and it will be set. So that's one of the first things that I made. So that's a setback tool for Alien Worlds. And I think that the second thing I made was like for our planet. You know, you have the Aether is the currency. Yeah. Sometimes you want to send that to other people. So the way to do that would be to either go on Blocks and put it in all manually. But if you're in your Wax Cloud wallet, you would not see it. So you first had to add a custom token. So there was like, here is the contract, here is the token name, here's the amount of decimals that you need to do, and you can add an IPFS hash, and that are the steps to add it to your wallet. Yeah. And I had the same feeling like, okay, I know this isn't rocket science, but this isn't a friendly experience for a lot of people. So I was like, okay, can I do this? So I went in again, looked what it did exactly, replicated it on my site, and it worked. And then they added 4 minerals, and I turned it into one thing that it would add all 5 of them at the same time. So just sign in, add tokens, and you're done.
Yeah, I've used that a bunch of times. It's clutch. It's really, really amazing to see, these tools start to, percolate into the space. Obviously, was it Pigwig made the generator thing? When that showed out, it was obviously like, what the hell? I saw there was like a bit of a war going on, friendly one in Discord, who would be the Our Planet superhero. I don't know who won, but I think it was like up to you and Pigwig, which makes sense because like, both you guys have made tools that are like kind of freaking epic, right? Like they're being used by everybody in the community, and it's awesome that the Our Planet Discord decided to celebrate you guys. It makes a whole lot of sense. What if you could wave your magic wand, which I guess you could because you're a freaking wizard anyway. I should say not could. Look, when? Like what's the next thing on your list of whiz bangs to whiz bang?
Yeah, I have that list is so freaking long. You have no clue.
There's
so many.
Seriously, tell what's like when you think about your list. Like, tell us everything that you would do.
Sure. There is something that I feel really bad about it because I've created. It's nearly done. Do you know Kolobok, the project?
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody that got into Our Planet early ended up Kolobok mining like it was their job.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the friendly way to get into it,
right.
And little just a tiny investment, and you could get rolling. So that was actually the perfect way for Our Planet people to get started with Our Planet. So but basically the game, it's very simple. You have Kolobok, which are a kind of species that can do two things. They can breed and they can go on adventure. There are all sorts of stats for those Kolobok. They have stealth, they have speed, they have their health, how old they are, how many children they had, and which adventures they did. Because if you sent one out on a type of adventure, there are 5 adventures. If it completed one and survived, you couldn't send them again on that adventure and get an NFT. Because if you send them on an adventure and they survive, you get a nice NFT that you can stake on Our Planet, for instance. If you send it, if you send it out, and it completed those adventures, you couldn't do it again, or you would get K-Bucks if they completed it. So you wouldn't get the NFT, etc. Those are all kinds of data that are related to the Kolobok that are not visible when you go and buy them. Same with breeding and the adventures. Once they complete, they have to rest for a while. So they can be busy for minutes, hours, days even. So what would happen is you could not see the speed and the stealth, so people would put those stats in the name, but people would also cheat and sell you crappy Kolobok with names that are like they are amazing in stats. And they would sell Kolobok that wouldn't be able to be used for days. So what I created was something that pulls out all the data, because it's like an algorithmic field, pulls all that data and visualizes it. So I created a marketplace where you could see all the stats for your Kolobok in a custom frame, just in one quick view. It's like the image of the Kolobok, and around the edge are all its stats. It's generation, its health, its speed, its stealth, which adventures it completed, all that. So you would be able to make an informed decision, and if it's locked like busy or not. So I completed that, and you could sort on all those fields. So it would be a perfect experience to buy Kolobok. By the time that was nearly done, like the entire thing got nerfed by Our Planet, and people lost a bit of interest, and the prices tanked, because our original idea was, okay, I'll just add a 0.2 wax fee to have all this data available for each transaction. And that was back when they were selling for 2.5 and up. So now they sometimes sell for 0.05. So adding a data fee like that on top of it would be pointless. So
it doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah, I will reduce that, but I still want to roll it out. But it takes some time to finalize, because I have it in a state where I can see the listing, I can do all sorts of sorting, and I can see live when something gets sold. So it will gray out and say sold. So it's pretty far along, but there are some final steps that I want to do just to make sure that it's really nice. So that's something that I have that I want to complete.
I wonder what God's gonna do. Like, you think they would, like, because I'm on there now, and I showed this to my mother-in-law actually, and she started doing Alien Worlds and Kolobok farming, like, you know, because she's the type of person that's just watching TV. They're kind of retired or whatever, and like she'd play like those Farmville games and stuff. I'm like, listen, no more Farmville. Like, this is gotta stop. Right?
At least do something that will generate something for you, right?
Right, like worst case scenario. And it's funny too, like 2-3 months later, she's doing Alien Worlds. Like, I don't get any more NFTs on Alien Worlds. This is book. Like, the price of TLM, and like she's a coiner now, right? Like, she's like, oh, it's better on Binance. Like, who are you? What's happened? You're what?
That's amazing.
It really is. It was a huge eye opener for me personally. But yeah, she's still doing the Kolobok thing. It's like simple or whatever, but it seems to be that, like, and they're like looking at it now. They've added some features, like you can, spend some wax to breed faster, and you can, do some things. So they're creating some syncs for K-Bucks, which is awesome. But like, you'd think, like, why do you, and this is just me rampantly speculating. I don't know if anybody's having any good ideas around this or not, but like the main reason why they caught on was Our Planet. How, as a project, do you not immediately start thinking, okay, how do we do DeFi with K-Bucks? Right? Yeah. And like maybe that's kind of the case in an embedded way, but obviously not enough to sort of. So anyway, if you're from the Callback team, like just like there's a reason why everyone dug your stuff before.
Yeah, there is stuff happening, by the way.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they tried something. It was a bit of a hit and a miss, but they started a beauty pageant, the Totally Fair Beauty Contest. Yeah,
the Totally Fair Beauty Contest. Awesome. Yeah, well, yeah. What I saw that I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, the idea is you send in your Colobuck to the competition, and you send along K-Bucks with it, and the amount you send is the score. And at the end of each 24-hour period, the top-ranked person will get 100 K-Bucks and a stat increase saying that it won a beauty contest. That will be used later, they say, but we don't know anything other than that. And then after 24 hours, the points are reduced by 10%. So if you put in 50, after an hour, it's 45, right? Mm-hmm. So this basically means if the number one spot puts in 50, everyone that puts in anything lower will just lose and never win. That's one. Because you'd never be able, because everything shifts down. There's no way for you to catch the lead guy, and only the first person wins.
Right.
So I told them, like, why even let people do this? Because everybody that puts in less than the number one spot is throwing away all their K-Bucks and will have a bad experience, because it's impossible for them to get a good experience out of that, because they can never win.
Like every single person except for one is going to have a shitty experience. That's like you think that shit through.
Yeah. So right? I told them right away. So like I would stop this right now, revisit a few things, tweak it, and make it into a good experience, because you're nearly there. You have a good idea, but there are some things that you need to fix. Right. What they also didn't think about was the first person gets 100 K-Bucks. That's it. How much do you think the top position was after 20 minutes?
Well, you could never do more than 100.
Oh yeah, you can. You can send as much.
No, I know you could, but like that's the thing. Like if you did,
you lose money. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Like that's like, like I took one look at that. I'm like, well, I'm glad I stopped in to look at Callbox for the first time in 2 months, and then I left because it's just not useful, right?
Yeah, I think it was 18,500 K-Bucks that was added in the first 20 minutes for the top one spot. Yeah. Why? I haven't looked at it in a few days because people want to win, and they like,
I guess
maybe it will do something, but so much.
I guess if you don't have anything else, like if you don't have anything else going on with K-Bucks or whatever, it just seems like you
can trade it for wax, but it's just because I think 100 K-Bucks was one wax back then.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So,
I mean, nothing like winning 100 K-Bucks.
Yeah, after spending 18,500. Yeah,
like, what the hell? That doesn't
but there's more going on. There's like a game called Coin Pirates. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yeah, actually, Sammy Snake was just mentioning that the pirate prizes will be stakeable on new game Coin Pirates, which is cool because I have I don't know, a lot of them.
Yeah,
is it old ones too or new ones?
Yeah, I just think the old ones as well. I have 1,800 NFTs from Colobuck, I think, prize NFTs, because I've been buying them from the start. So yeah,
that's crazy pants. I was just like having to farm these idiotic things. I have nightmares of being chased by a cartoon fox now.
Yeah. So that's one idea that I had. And there's Alien Worlds with the whole NFT change. I'm not sure if you caught on to that.
Tell us about this, because I heard a little bit, but just in case people aren't caught up to it, and I would love a walkthrough again as well.
Yeah, if you've played Alien Worlds for a while, you may be familiar with the locked bag issue. I don't know if you're familiar. A few weeks ago, it was fairly rampant. When you would change your bag or your land, you couldn't, and you would get a bag is locked error. That would occur when they were out of CPU. Do you have a guess how much wax they had staked to their CPU?
It was probably a lot.
Take a guess.
I have no idea. 2 million.
Yeah, over 4.5.
Checks out.
Yeah. And they were constantly hitting 100%, and it was causing errors.
Wow.
So they were like, okay, we can't keep adding CPU here. So what can we do? One of the things that took up a lot of CPU was the random number generator when sending out NFTs. So they changed that part a bit. And like before the Binance listing with TLM happened, there was a version where you would get a notification in game where you would hit it an NFT. Ever since I joined Wax, that hasn't been there. So the old gameplay was like you mine, you wait 10 seconds, you go on Wax Stash or your whatever wallet tool you check, and you refresh your Alien World collection to see if you have an NFT waiting. So that was like the way it worked. And after they changed that, they said, well, okay, we're no longer sending out the NFTs. We will have a contract action on blocks that you can execute by hand to check if there is an NFT, and it will get delivered to you then and there. So they delay the minting of the NFT and actually make sure that the person that gets the NFT pays for it because they execute the action and not Alien Worlds. Smart. So they offload all the NFT creation to the user. Yeah, well, I'd say you could also trigger just a dialogue in the game and have them sign then and there. But yeah, that's maybe just me. So yeah, you would no longer get them. And the experience would be that you go to blocks and you execute an action and you'd have no clue. You still have to go either dig into the transaction detail or go into your wallet and see if something happened. Mm-hmm. So you execute it blindly, costing you CPU. Well, I was like, yeah, this is also not a really good experience. So what I did was I checked out where they list that you could get an NFT, and if there's a way to check without executing an action. So there's a table on their account that lists for each user which templates they can get when they claim. So I made a tool where you could just sign in, and it would check the table. It would not cost you any CPU, and if there was an NFT to claim, you can enable that. You get like a pop-up window. So even if you don't have it on your screen, you could get a notification, hey, you got an NFT. And then you could go in and claim it manually and then pay the CPU once. Since the drop rates really were lowered a lot, I was like, okay, I made this, but chances are that people will not get anything for weeks. So if you have a situation like that, it's like people won't trust it. Right? Mm-hmm. Because how do I know if this works? I've never seen it work.
Right.
So what I did was I made something where you could claim NFTs for other people. So if there's no NFT for you to claim, you could click a button and it will load 15 other people's prizes. And you could use your CPU to send out the NFTs to those people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Just and fun?
The people just are turning it into a meta game.
That's freaking adorable.
Yeah, so I've seen people tweet out, oh yeah, I ordered some pizza, getting a beer, I'm going to send out NFTs to people all night. You know, it's just, people are having fun with it. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I need to turn this into an actual game. So I started building that. So what I want to do is make sure that that site is changed. So if somebody claims something, that it's removed for other people, because right now it's alphabetically and I don't have much power in how it's sorted. So I will change that to be server side, pull in all the NFTs and track all the people that are active at the same time and remove them from your screen when it gets claimed. And maybe just have like a marathon where you have 15 minutes or 1 hour to claim the most NFTs for other people, or the highest rarities or something, and just give people an NFT for just sending out NFTs to other people. So that's something that I've been building whenever I have a bit of time.
That's cool.
So like to turn that into a game.
Right. You're going to send out an NFT every time anyone else helps somebody else. Sorry, froze up for a second. Or maybe I did.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. Please say again.
So you're going to send out... Sorry, one sec. You're going to send out an NFT like you are anytime anybody else helps?
Yeah, that's something that I want to do, to have like a challenge for like every 50 minutes or an hour. And the people that like the top 3 that send out the most, I'll just send them an NFT, because that's also something that I did a while ago. I created something on my site. I used to have like a button there for like, because all the tools that are out there, they have like their WAM address and like, hey, if I helped, send me something, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that works, but it's not a great experience. People have to copy it, go over to the wallet, etc. I was like, I can do this with one button click. So I did.
Yeah.
So I added a button. Did I help? Send me some Ether, right? And it was just 1,000. And then people came, well, can you make it configurable? Because I want to send more. I said, well, you can click the button a few times. And after people kept asking, I just added a drop down for that. So now it's in a corner. You can press donate. A dialog comes up, and you can pick what you want. And there's a little animation where you donate. And like 400 people did that. So I'm really thankful for everybody that sent, you know, I don't care if it's even 1,000, just 1,000 Ether. For some people, that still is a lot, because I had a guy that had like 100 Ether per hour, and he sent me 1,000. I was like, dude, yeah, get your rates up. And I sent him back 3,000. I said, whenever this is no longer a lot for you, then you can donate again. Don't send me anything. Because like, I really love all the positive things that people have been sending back to me for the tools that I make. It's been really, really cool. So I wanted to thank people as well for that. So I had my wife draw up an NFT, and I dropped an NFT to everybody that donated a while ago. That's awesome. So I have a collection on Atomic Hub now. It's not yellow, but it's got the white check mark. So at least it doesn't get filtered everywhere. So I sent out thank you NFTs to everybody that donated. So I figured like, okay, I already have that, so I can use that as well for like the game to send out thank yous, or like prize NFTs for sending out NFTs to other people. So that's some of the things that I want to do. And there's so much more, because I think a while ago on a stream I said, well, I think it was the interview with Kate that I did with Micah. I'm not sure if you saw that.
No, I haven't yet, no.
Check it out. It's really cool. That's like another project on Wax. I did that a while ago with them.
Yeah, Kate, like CAIT. Yeah, no, we've been looking at that. Anders did an interview with them, and he told us about it. And I haven't checked out his interview yet, but that's kind of on my slate to do. It's a really kind of interesting concept.
Yeah, I did an interview with them the day before as well. So if you check out Anders' one, check out mine too.
Yeah, for sure.
And during that time, he told me about his Alien Worlds land that he acquired for the project, and I was like, oh man, I was so jealous. I was like, oh man, that's so cool. I want to get an Alien Worlds land someday, because I have so many ideas. Ever since I started, it's like, man, I can do so much things just to pull people to my land and just hype that up to infinity. So that's also something that I wanted to do. And after that stream, somebody said, well, hey, I have 3 lands you can have. Just split the revenue with me. So should I send them to you now? It was like 3 Alien Worlds lands. It was like, yeah, you can have them. Just build. I believe in you. Just share the revenue with me. So so I have some really cool ideas about
3 cars worth of land later. Like, whatever, it's Wax. We're good.
Yeah. So I have some really cool ideas about that. I'm not going to say much about that, but yeah. So that's also on the back burner. But the problem that I have is just time, man. I have so many things that I want to do.
Right.
And, that donation tool, I want to open source that for people to use, because Bond from Our Planet, he said a few weeks ago, just hey, make sure that Pigwig can use this as well, and they'll send you both 1 million.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, cool. But I have so little time. I run my own software company. I have a lot of clients that I need to keep happy.
So make that available for other projects, and I'll double what Bonds is giving you. For real.
Nice. Yeah.
Think about this. Like, as somebody, like, I'm making like a decent amount of Aether an hour. And honestly, any of you guys who are making Aether, pile on to this, right? For real. Because, you know, it's what, 2 million Aether. How much is Bonds giving you? He's like a million each to you, Pigwig or whatever.
Yep.
All right, so and I'll message this to Bonds too. Like, I'll put a tweet out. Like, you make that open source for other products, not just Pigwig to use, right? That drop down thing that's sort of configurable or whatever. And yeah, absolutely, I'll give $1 million to that, and I know other people that will as well.
Yeah, it's on my list, but it's like
right. Well, that's the thing. Like, respecting your time. This is the thing. Like this is a thing that is good for the entire Aether ecosystem, which is why Bonds would jump at it. It's why I'll jump at it. I know, TC will probably jump at it. Freaking, I know Bullshipples will, right? So
TC has already been amazing. I think
of course,
He was the first. Yeah, he said like, why is there no? I think it was 1,000 wax. It's like, why is there no 1,000 wax option? Add it, and I was like, sure. And I thought it was fun, right? So I went to the site. I added a 1,000 wax button with a link to his tweet because I tried to have a bit of fun with it, right?
Of course,
because I used to have like the R Planet, the useful links to like the generator and the sheets and the prospectus from Ivan. I have like external links, useful links, and I have a blog up there. And somebody was mad in the R Planet chat. Was like, well, people think you made all of those things. And I was like, it's even there. It's an external tool. So I went into Paint. I drew up with exclamation marks, not my tool. And I put it up there with a link to the Telegram message. I like to have fun with stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
So when somebody said like, why is there no 1,000 wax button? I was like, okay, I'll add that and make a bit of fun of it as well. And even before I could roll out the update, he already manually sent it to my address. So yeah, it's awesome. Been, and he's been supporting ever since. It's like every time I send out a tweet, I can see TC liked it or retweeted it.
For sure.
And not just him. There are so many people that have been really, really kind and supportive. And it's like a warm bath. The entire wax community has been really great. I think last week there was one hater that sent like an annoying tweet, and I had to retweet this. Because like I got my first hater. It's an achievement. There has been so much love.
Unlocked.
Yeah. I was really surprised because the internet can be a very violent, disrespectful, and unkind place. But the experience that I've had on wax is pretty unparalleled.
Yeah, it's been pretty good for us as well. And we're trying to like kind of quadruple down on that in our ecosystem, right? Like the whole, you know, FUD for its own sake. Like we'll ban you, and then people will whine about it. I'm like, yeah, I don't really care. And like constructive criticism, pile that on. Like we need that, right, to get better. And there's just such a remarkable difference. And then people that are just like, you know, whining, whatever. It's like, it's just like we have the opportunity. We're all in this together, right? We have the opportunity to kind of design how we operate in the world, even as communities. And it's funny, people are entirely used to, a lot of people are, not people generally. A lot of people are used to being able to go into any Telegram or Discord channel and be a total shithead and be like, and be allowed. Oh, because you're entitled to this platform. No, you're fucking not, right? Like we live here. This is where I live, right? And all of these other people live here too. And it's usually like literally 1 out of 1,000 people will get like, that's a technical term. And so our whole thing, and this, the more I think about it, we just really did this to just so that our, you know, because we're doing this 18 hours a day is a little bit better, right? We just started basically pruning those people out because, you know, fuck it. Like there's 3,000 people in the channel now. They're, you know, exposed to all this stuff, and they're just whatever. Let's just get rid of them. But at the same time, I think other projects have been doing more of the carrot, which we try to do as well, like that, as opposed to like, you know, pruning and sort of removing people from it. It's so much more important to us to kind of serve the positivity itself, right? We talk about the gratitude thing and the win-win-win thing and all that stuff, which, you know, is not a gimmick. Like we do this 24 hours a day. That's what the Uplist is doing, but it's just like it seems like it's percolating out. Or maybe, you know, we're a bit of a product of the whole wax ecosystem itself that's just kind of decided to move in this direction. I'm proud of the whole ecosystem for doing that. It just makes it so much more fun to build here and to you know, be trying to make some cool things.
And it's sometimes also when you're expressing yourself in chat, you can forget how something can come across, because I've made mistakes like that as well. You've called me on it even.
Well, so have I. Even like Michael Yates came into our channel once and was like super snippy. I'm like, dude, we got to hold ourselves to a higher standard. But at the same time, then like come to this show, I'll be the first one to admit sometimes I'm a raging asshole. Like it happens. It does. I get called out on it, and then I'm like, okay, right, and we get better at it and we improve. And we always offer before kicking people out, we always offer the opportunity for them to like, hey, do you want to maybe adapt this kind of shittiness? And if they don't, all right, well, bye. We'll never speak to you again.
Or do you want to come on the show and have a real conversation, right? And that sometimes works. No?
Has it ever worked?
Yeah, it worked with Michael Yates.
Well, Michael Yates is different. He messaged me instantaneously and said, you know what, you're right. Like that, yeah. And of course we invited him on the show. The guy's a goddamn super genius. And like, knowing now how much incoming we get, and then like add 2 zeros, and that's the amount of incoming that guy's getting, And like that'll fray anyone's nerves, right?
Yeah,
but at the same time, like my nerves are gonna get frayed every once in a while. Nick's, your nerves might get frayed every once in a while. We're all, working like crazy. We're all get tired or whatever. But there's a fundamental difference between, if I call Jimmy out on something, he's gonna consider it and flip instantaneously. And I hope that I do the same thing. It might not be instantaneous, but hopefully within minutes. And Nick, like you did the same thing, right? So like none of us are perfect. We obviously are gonna own that, right? But I think there's I guess the main difference is we're all trying to be better, right? And we're keeping in mind however we're showing up in this second. If we could show up a little bit better the next second, or if we're open to being called out on it by people that we love and respect, I mean that has a profound effect on the community as a whole. It really does.
Yep.
Good talk. All right. Let's get out of here.
You know what I like about everything that you do? I like the fact that you build stuff. I also like the fact that you talk, up a storm. I usually don't have any difficulty interjecting, but you got so much awesomeness going on that I just had to sit back and take it. Because that was like a story and a half, and it was awesome. Every single second of that story was great. But what I like about the whole thing is that you're creating these tools, right? Number one, and number two, you're doing it, but you're also like taking a bit for yourself, which I think is really important. It's really good.
Smart.
Right? And the third thing is, I really like the story about the guy who sent you 1,000 Aether, and he only makes 100 an hour, and you sent it back and you said, maybe later when you're making more. Like,
well, didn't you say that's really 3,000 back?
He's I sent 3,000 back.
Yeah.
And he even got back to me later. He's like, dude, you sent me a thank you for donating NFT, but you sent it back. I was like, okay, and maybe I need to send you another one. You still don't get it. People are so kind, man. And if I can just give a little bit back, why not?
Yeah. And I think we end up amplifying it too, right? At least that's the it's not why we do it, but it's like a happy accident, that, at MBlue, when we first started hanging out talking about the win-win economy, right? Like just making sure that in any, transaction, you're always trying to find somebody else that wins. Like that is one of those embodiments of this, right? It's why we tack on stuff for Uplift Donate. We're building a school in Haiti, and why Yoshi Drops is investing in all the carbon neutral and carbon sink and oxygen creating tree planting stuff or whatever. Like it as projects, we're doing these things. But I love that story, Nick. To just because I've seen that so many times in our ecosystem of other people just like giving people a hand up. I mean, Sammy Snake and that whole freaking thing is another amazing example where they've basically industrialized helping people. Right? Yeah, it's incredible. Really cool.
I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, so I hope I don't butcher his name. Like Zueljin, he's a YouTuber and he does videos. He started with gaming, now does a lot of crypto things as well. I actually found out about Sammy Snake from his videos because he made a video about how he got into mining on his land. Yeah, and he got like a rev share and the whole thing. That was really cool. And a few weeks later, we found out about the Nova Rally thing, and he's killing it with that. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to have somebody on from the Nova Rally thing, Jimmy, because I have no clue at all what the hell's going on there.
I might have had
What's that, Jimmy?
No, it's okay. I might have had a DM about that, actually. I should check. But yeah, I'm kind of lost.
Yeah, no, you did. Well. Somebody sent you some packs for you and made a claim and then was busting your balls because you didn't claim them.
I know. I saw that message. I still haven't rectified this situation yet, though.
Damn it, Jimmy. Damn it.
I mean, it's like unclaimed.
I mean, it's the only... It happens, dude. It's the only time you've ever screwed up ever since we met, so it's fine. Cheers to Simon. Thanks, Nick, for your tool. You make the community. You make for the community. I mean, that might be a spelling error, but I'm here for it. I like it a lot. Hello, puppy. Yeah, super helpful. That's the snake. Oh, Sammy sent them to you. There you go. All right. See, and he's letting you off the hook already because he's a much nicer people than me. Wait, Sammy, Novarelli's yours?
Yeah, I said that a few times already.
What the shit? Nobody tells me anything except for Nick apparently twice. Damn it!
You're too busy busting my balls.
Sorry, buddy.
If you pull up novarally.naw.io.
Okay. I will do it. Oh, by the way, we got to do some Novarally that website he had that had a .io.
Yeah. That was somebody that he did Sammy Snake did a live stream, I think 2 days ago. And it was a really good stream, so I would watch the VOD if I was you. It had so much, it was like info after info and after info. It just packed with him answering all the community questions. It was a really good, informative stream because somebody asked me to recap it. And I was like, I listed out 5 points and then I reverted, well, just go watch the VOD because there was so much stuff in there.
Right.
So that's a really good video to watch to
Intro?
get a bit of an understanding. It's all facts and info, and there's so much to this game that you might not know.
How do you spell Novarally? I think I spelled it wrong.
It's like the car, right? NOVARALLY.
.naw.io?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Let me just drop it.
Oh, there's a little tiny link. Oh, never mind. There's a Twitch link that goes to Sammy Snake. Bad.
Yeah. So somebody, as a joke, I don't know what was above it, was like something about tooling, and it was like Nick's already working on it, and he dropped like the naw.io link, and I was like, okay, now I have to make the site. So I quickly registered, created the subdomain, and threw out the site with just the screenshot of him saying that and linking to Sammy Snake's Twitch. It's an easy way to get to his Twitch and his latest video that you can watch now.
Right. All right. So Twitch, I was just like blasting through this video real quick, and guess what I found, Jimmy?
No idea. I know now.
Sammy Snake says in words hissing all the time. Sammy Snake says.
Just gonna take a little happy coffee break.
Hissing with the hissing with the Sammy Snake says in words he's hissing.
This is happening.
All the time.
This is my life now, and I like it.
Sammy Snake says in words hissing all the time. Sammy Snake says in words hissing all the time. Hissing with the hissing with the.
That just never gets old.
Is it on Spotify yet?
Is that one on Spotify? I think they lifted it out of a YouTube video, so I think it might be problematic. I might have to cover it. Maybe if I cover it.
No, I actually I know what it is because it's like a grammar tutorial for like English as second language kids, right? And I used to have the poster on my wall right there in the middle with Sammy Snake beside Robbie the Robot or something, whoever his friend was.
Nice.
Yeah, see, Novarella NFTs passively earned snake oil tokens. Of course, it's snake oil tokens.
Yeah.
I don't own anywhere near enough of these. So damn it. And of course, they're sold out.
Well,
all of the packs over 10x. So
I might have one for you there, my friend. I might have one.
All right. Yeah. Well, the only thing I can promise is that if it spits out snake oil, I'm never going to sell it. Also, I love that.
That's like perfect for you because you like to buck the system. So you're the only person in the world that would never sell snake oil.
That's good. Thanks. Right?
I mean, I can never imagine you like peddling snake oil in the Wild West, right? Like,
I don't know. It'd be like, this doesn't work like at all, but you can have some. The bottle's good. Also, it's like oil, so maybe that'll. I don't know. Oh, I'd be terrible at it anyway. Yeah.
So the question on everybody's mind: how is the uplist coming along?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Nick, by the way, for Uplist 2.0, did you get a section for this one? Did you get invites?
Anders was the first to offer me, and I got.
Oh, you got your spot. Minutes. I want you to have your own sheet so that you can invite people.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So we'll hit that up. So obviously the list is done for this one, but we already have. We're gonna do a pre-sale in Gratitude with some really insane deals. that is going to run next month. And so again, like anybody being as supportive for our entire ecosystem as you are, like you get your own sheet, add 5-10 people, whatever you want. Cool. You know, if they're part of this sort of win-win-win kind of culture that we're developing, freaking at them. You know what I mean? Or if they're building anyone or helping anyone, or, you know, it's that dude with 1,000 wax. This is the thing, like there's people now, like some people that have a spot on the list and they don't have enough wax to do the things like 5,000 wax to grab the sort of package deal that we're throwing up there. But I mean, they're just like, hey, I've got a spot, you know, let's make a dope deal. And people are coming out of the woodwork like, well, I want to get in on that, right? And so we're sort of putting them in an awesome position. And these people generally, like the people that are on the list, are the ones that you know, got in game to help somebody build something and they were helping, or they're super helpful, you know, in the Telegram channel. You know, it's basically the list is, you know, what are you grateful for? What have you built? Who have you helped? Right. And that's sort of, yeah. So, Katoshi, how do we check if we're on the list? That was supposed to get published last night. We kind of dropped the ball on that. I went to sleep and then nobody did it.
Sleep? What's that?
Yeah, I have to do it every once in a while. I feel like I get like 2 good nights of sleep in a row and then everything just goes to shit again for the rest of the week. So, but it's fun when it happens. So yeah, I think our team's working on it right now. We are going to post it as quickly as we can. Obviously, the sale starts at 8:00 tonight. If somebody told you you're on the list, you're on the list. I mean, that's the easiest way to find out. So, but yeah, we'll have it up somewhere this morning, hopefully.
Yeah, if no one.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, if no one told you that you're on the list, or you never asked to be on the list, or there's one other thing, but yeah, those 2 main things. Like, if no one told you that you're on the list, you might be, you might not be. I don't know. But if you never asked to be on the list, then you're not on the list. And if nobody ever contacted you in a DM to give you information, then you're not on the list. So that's not to say that we don't want you on the list next time, but next time, not now, like, because we shut down, right? Like, because we wanted to create, you know, this thing around the people that were on the list. And if we add more people to the list, then the thing goes to shit. So we want to keep Corey awake for 2 more days while we get this done before we add more people to the list. That's essentially what we're going.
That's the thing. And really, like, how to get on the list is like one of my favorite questions. I would say go read Jimmy's blog post on it, which gives you a good idea of why we're doing this. It's not the only way to get uplift stuff in the future. There's going to be a mining rig sale at the end of the month that's going to be open to everybody. But, you know, if you can answer to someone that has invites, right? And somebody like Nick or somebody like Anders, you know, the Sammy
Thanks
Snake.
for blowing up my box now.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I mean, really, that's what this. I'm so sorry to all of my dear friends where I'm just offloading my DMs to you poor bastards. That's really what's going on right now.
That's like, from judging all the people that hit me up if I wanted a spot, I think you already have like a pretty good division of people that can add to the list, because it's not just the obvious people. There are some people that I was like, cool that you're like somebody that can add people to the list. So
this is the thing,
you have a good list of people.
I think so. And you know, we're looking for people that are sort of conspicuous helpers, right? Like, it's not just an anti-bot thing, although clearly nobody's going to make it onto this list that is a bot, right? Like, that's like the high level thing. We could have just targeted, you know, accounts that we know, you know, we're purchasing things that were really specific for things, right? Like, we could have done something programmatically to do that. This is like 1,000 times more work than that. But we're engaging the community to do it. We're empowering people that deserve to be empowered. And of course they're getting some invites. So, you know, down the road, we would love to add more people to sort of become inviters, right? So anybody out there that has a sheet that's inviting people, if you meet somebody that's just like super conspicuously fantastic and you want to empower them in our community, let me know. Right?
But it's also like great marketing, like from your end. I don't know if it's intentional, but this gets people talking for days and days and days and have a buzz. And so it's not only very effective.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have a. Sure.
Well, it serves all those goals, right? Like the marketing noise, you know, there's different things we could do to create marketing noise. And we do a lot of those things, but to me, it actually became really obvious what we like, because I kind of knew, okay, we're going to build this thing around community. We always have been, right? But then we're actually going to serve them and hand them as much value as possible. And we need to collect that list. And that's going to be messy and hard and one-on-one. And Corey's going to have to answer 500 fucking DMs, but whatever, right? Which I have. It's been a long week. I'm fine. We'll start rocking back and forth.
And I'm not saying marketing is a bad thing, by the way. I think this was just a really clever way to do it.
Oh yeah, no, thank you. No, I don't. That's not a bad thing at all. I'm really excited how the whole listing is shaping up, and we're gonna learn about it. If anybody has any better ideas about how we can serve the community with this, because if it's like, getting more speculators on the list, we'll just watch my face. Like, while people investing in what we're doing is really important, and I appreciate it, we want people that are building in the uplift. We want people that are helping people in the uplift, right? This is what this list is for. If you want to come in and like invest in the project and whatever, like we're gonna have other things for you. This is not what we're up to right now, right? So what have you built? Who have you helped? And what are you grateful for? And find somebody with invites and tell them those things. Watch what happens. And that is not confirmation for sure that you're entitled to a spot on the list, because you're fucking not. Because that's one of the things I got some feedback, and I'm screwing up right now, Nick. I'm on this right now. I tell people and myself all the time, don't make blanket statements about everyone about one squeaky wheel, and I just did it. Epic fail, right? So but I've gotten a few incoming, and again, like exceedingly small percentage. Most of the income I've gotten is like epically fantastic, and thank you very much for it. But we're like, oh, like I heard you on YouTube, and like you didn't add me to the list. I'm like, you're welcome. Like what are you talking about? Well, like, you told me to message you, and I get on the list. Sure, fucking didn't. Right? You can message me and tell me why you deserve to be on this list, and that's fantastic. If your first thing is, I deserve to be on this list because I like turtles, cool. Well, then 5 seconds later, you're like, you didn't put me on the list, you shithead. I feel like I just made the right call. That's like, I don't know about you, but I feel like we're winning here. Anyway, there's some of those are just really weird. And obviously, that's the sad thing about it, though, too. Like, and this is why I really want to give Yates and anybody else who has like a frustrating moment, not a pass, because we all do have to hold ourselves to a higher standard, but goddamn, it's frustrating. But no, you guys shouldn't have to suffer for that, and I just made you suffer for that. I fucking love you guys. I'm sorry.
the good thing about this show, though, Corey, is like usually we're not renting together, right? Like usually we can keep that balance. So that's kind of like if we ever both rent together, that we're
then usually EOS or Block 1 is in the crosshairs, and it's really funny.
So, but just one other thing as well. Like,
I do like turtles.
The positive side, to Corey's little rant, and I love rants, especially yours, by the way. But the positive side, go to the Telegram go to the Telegram group and check the back messages and read the message from our good friend and community helper Devin Barron, who talked about how his process for the list worked, right? Like we're not micromanaging shit here. We're not giving people the list and telling them this is what you need to do. We're giving the people that we trust the list, and we're letting them make their own judgment calls, right? Like, I mean, Nick, I really hope that like you don't just add people to the list that mail you and say, I like turtles, can I be on the list?
Maybe though. Like, because look at this. Just want to throw this out there. There's a bunch of people that just said that they like turtles, and I like all of them. So there may be this weird correlation thing. And correlation isn't necessarily causation, but if you love turtles, maybe you deserve to be on the list. That's all I'm saying. That might be the way. We might have been just like wasting our time the rest of the time.
Obviously, I'm just going to sell it to the highest bidder. Come on.
Well, that I told it's a very Brad from NBC the NBA. What am I trying to say? NBA. God, NBC. NBA. Yeah. Top Shot. They have a big Discord or whatever. Brad's a sweetheart too. Like we had to get him a list as quickly as we could get a hold of him, and he's got a few invites left or whatever. And so we're talking about it on Twitter yesterday, because of course I'm getting 600 or 700 Russians a day asking to get on the list. By the way, super excited to have most of Russia in the uplift. That's going to be super fun. But yeah, basically just like I joked, you should totally bribe people, and so he's asking for bribes. His cost is 1 gratitude. I'm like, that's a pretty depending on the gratitude. Like if you're like, oh, I'm grateful for cheese, But if you're grateful for turtles, totally different story, right? This is a good bar. We want to empower people, Jimmy, and let them iterate, and they're going to find the way. I mean, the way's turtles, but they're going to find other ways.
I
can't believe they let us do this in public.
Right?
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
And by the way, like, you know, off the record, not because anyone's paying attention or anyone's listening.
Geek, snake is better than turtle.
But like, not only do they let us do this, but like they're thinking of empowering us a little bit more. Just saying, like that things could get fun. So tell everyone you know to come over here to the Uplifters channel, because like if things weren't crazy before in the best of possible ways, they might just get better.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be nuts. Well, and this is the thing, like nuts compared to what? I mean, nuts compared to now, which is already nuts. So like a bigger pile of nuts. This is getting weird now.
Yes, but like, I mean, I like nuts in salad because it's a good protein staple for the day.
It is.
So,
you get the healthy oils,
right? Yeah,
in the salad that way. You're like
right.
a little bit more energized for a little bit longer. That's the
It's the best. It's the best way to toss the nut. It's the best way to toss the nuts in the salad.
There it is. Nick was waiting to come on the show because I think he's really passionate about talking about nuts oil, and that's so. You're welcome, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys are fun.
You know what we should. You know what we should do though. We should do some gratitudes. And Nick, you know that you're very much well appreciated around these parts because we have kind of a standing truth that like if it takes us 56 minutes into the show to get to gratitudes, then we were like totally thrown off the ball and out of the water by how amazing your speech and all the things that you were doing, right?
We were having too much fun, and this is a damn good sign. Here we go. Fill that.
You know
up.
what, Nick? I also think we need to do a roundtable with you and a bunch of other people that just create good things for the community for good. If you're down, I'd love to get Pigwig on there, and a few of the other people in the wax ecosystem. Down the
I've
road.
never seen Pigwig before, so that would be cool. Because he made a big impact for our planet, and I'm really grateful that I didn't have to make the generator.
Right? That's a non-trivial lift. That generator. That's pretty amazing. All right, so I'm grateful for Nick this morning. Go visit rp.naw.io. Excuse me if you haven't yet. And obviously people are going to want to get into to our planet. Now I'm just kind of I think our back end is going to handle all this stuff. But Nick, once we get the uplift running, feel free to yell at us, and you can be rude to me, right? anytime you want about how we can improve that. Because again, we're iterating this on the fly, the same as everybody else. And I know there's going to be some low hanging fruit improvements that we can do early on. So Nick, what are you grateful for?
To be honest, just the entire wax community. It's such an amazing community. It might be corny, but it's just been great for me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Jimmy.
Yeah, I might have to do too, just because Nick's heckling is in the comments. Nick's heckling is in the comments, but I like the heckle, so I'm grateful for awesomosity.
I'm just gonna put this. Yeah, it's that deserves some quotes right there. Awesome, osity.
Yeah, and turtles.
SIC.
And turtles. Because
oh yeah, turtles. Don't forget the turtles.
Right.
My daughter, we took her to the aquarium. She saw the dolphins, jumping and all the things, and she slept basically through the show where they were yelling and clapping and doing all the things that you probably shouldn't do to dolphins. But I mean, she was one, so we thought she should see them. Took her to the gift shop, and she picked up the turtle, and she loved it. And we didn't even see the turtles yet, so we had to go back into the museum so that she could see what she bought. So yeah, you're right. There's something about turtles. I'm also grateful for people who build for the community. There's a few people out there. Nick, you're one of them. Some of them have created projects of their own. Some of them do it as a side. But yeah, there's a few people we've had on the show that do it as a business. Their heart's in the right place. But the fact that you own a software company and you do this, because it's something that
turned down paid work to finish some of this stuff as well. So yeah, it's a big cost to me.
Well, I mean, that's one more reason for people to.
Hello, Crypto Alliance.
Hello, let's all wave to him.
Sometimes you just gotta hang out in a boat.
No, he's he's like a celebrity around these parts. Like he comes every time we're here. That's great.
That's awesome.
He's just like, I'm just gonna roll away.
So, just hanging out on my boat. What's going on? I learned this move from a turtle.
He's probably annoyed that he tried to put a turtle on a leash and it just didn't work. He's like, God damn it! Now I gotta get
a selfie with this weirdo. And weirdo is a term of endearment. Crypto Alliance. You're aware. All right, cool beans. All right. So I'm gonna throw yours up, and then we'll call it.
I heard you're building. So there's a comment that you're building great stuff in the Hustle House community cluster. Who's that? Is that? Oh, maybe that's.
Boat guy. Cool.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm sure you're like Crypto Alliance is a fun name, but Boat Guy is what we're gonna call you from now on. Crypto Gamer nailed that one. All right, I am actually late for my next meeting, so I got to run. Nick, please come back very, very soon.
Sure, hit me up.
We're huge fans, obviously. Oh, looks like we're gonna catch some sunrise action going on here. I mean, sometimes it doesn't seem real that we're doing this.
I mean, that might be a good thing.
It is. It's great. I mean, like, get to the point in your life where you're building something that's kind of so incredible and just kind of stops and makes you gasp every once in a while. Because this is like, what? What? It's awesome. Anyway, I gotta run.
I kind of feel like we're doing it with the right intention, and people like Nick are doing it with the right intention. And I think in this world, sometimes people forget the right intention, and that's what means everything to me and a lot of people that we work with. So thank you for all of you people that have the right intentions.
Heck yeah, absolutely. All right. I mean, you guys can keep chatting if you want. Oh, you got the chop up. It's good. It's happening. Make it happen.
Yep.
Do it. All right.